Good evening, fundraisers. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this lovely Tuesday evening with Justine and I. We have a very exciting special webinar in store for this evening. So this is going to be really exciting and effective to help all of you with your fundraising plans. Really just put that fundraising, over the limit so that you're able to, reach your fundraising goals. So you've got Justine, you've got myself. Both of us have done so many fundraisers. Our heads are exploding with ideas. So we're going to share a few of those with you this evening. Hopefully they are all, hopefully the ideas that we go through are, some of them they work well for you, but keep in mind all of the ideas that we chat about are all adaptable. If you want to talk a little bit more about how we can make them work for you, feel free to reach out to either myself or Justine. So we're going to get started. So officially welcome to our Idea Slam webinar this Tuesday, January the 19th. So we're about the mid to end of January. So we're really getting into the meat and potatoes of all of our fundraising, making sure that we're all, working hard, trying to, reach our goals. So, this is a really important webinar to attend. So I'm glad you're all able to come. Just before we really dive in, we're just going to go over a couple housekeeping tips just to make sure everybody is logging into the webinar and they can hear all of the great ideas that we're going to talk to. So as long as you're clicking on the audio portion of the top bar and logging in with your computer, you should be able to hear. If you aren't able to hear, or if you're having any problems with the sound or with the webinar at all, feel free to type into the chat window and we'll help troubleshoot that for you. Also, if you do have any questions throughout the webinar, feel free to put those into the chat or the Q&A box, and we will address those at the end of the webinar. Otherwise, you can put your questions together in an email or in Facebook, and you can send that to myself, and I will be happy to answer any of those questions at my earliest convenience as soon as possible. Also, if you do have, your parents around, why not invite them? We're going to be talking about lots of great ideas, and if you do miss something or they can help, make notes, it's a great idea to have somebody around to, kind of help, help you think of ways that you can use these fundraising ideas for you. Lastly, if you do get kicked out or if your internet does drop, not to worry. This is something that a lot of webinar attendees panic about, but if you do get kicked out, just log in using the same login instructions and you'll be able to pick up where we currently are. So if all is well, we'll move on. So this is really exciting. This is actually, our first webinar here with a special guest, and this is Justine. I want to introduce everybody to Justine. We'll give her, a second to introduce herself, but I first met Justine this year at our Toronto trip tour. I got to, hear her speak about her experiences, and she's, blown me away constantly, the way she speaks and her passion and, experience fundraising and, her dedication. So I'm going to just pass it over to Justine. She's, here with me, and we're going to go through some ideas together, but I'm going to first let Justine tell you a little bit about her and her experience, maybe tell you a little bit about what's happening in these pictures here that you're seeing on your screen. Hey everyone. And then the picture on the far right is Justine actually at a speech just a couple of weeks ago, actually at a mini Wee Day. So she does a lot of speaking at different events. So she is she's a big advocate for the work that she's seen done overseas. So this is something that hopefully that everybody here will continue doing when they come back as well. But the point is Justine has been with working with Me to We for a long time, and she's not only fundraised to travel, but she's also fundraised this amazing $10,000 to actually build this school in Kenya. So you add all of that up, you have trips and $10,000 for a lot of fundraising. So she's obviously doing something right, and she's obviously on the right track, and she's got some ideas that are really working well for her. So hopefully these things will help guide you and inspire you and show you that this is definitely possible. Justine's fundraise, I'd say, like, when you add it all up, right, Justine, almost $20,000, right? That's a lot of money. So put this into perspective, and break that big number down into smaller, more manageable numbers. It definitely helps put into perspective. So hopefully some of Justine's ideas will work really well for you, because she's just like you. You're in good company. So the goal for today, Justine and I really want to just kind of have a session where we brainstorm and inspire together. So you'll hear from Justine, and she'll clearly inspire everyone. She's inspired me. But brainstorming is a really great and exciting and fun part of fundraising. Just putting a bunch of ideas down on paper. So if you haven't already, and you don't have a list of ideas that you've already started working on, then maybe you can pull out a piece of paper and jot down some of the ideas that we're going through today. We'll also have Justine talk a little bit louder when she's chatting. She's a very soft-spoken lady, so thanks for the feedback, everybody. We'll have Justine talk a little bit louder so that you can hear her okay. Perfect. So before we jump in, I always like to start all of my Idea Slam webinars and all of my webinars really talking about this idea of fundraising buckets. Now, it's not a scientific term or fundraising term. It's really just something I made up. So it's, sometimes I call them fundraising buckets, sometimes I call them fundraising cookie jars. But I really like to hammer home the point that, obviously all of you are really busy. You're fundraising, you're traveling, you're probably in school or working or extracurricular activities. So you're all very busy. So I always like to suggest that while you're fundraising, you want to have your hand in all of these fundraising buckets or fundraising cookie jars all at the same time, so that you're really maximizing your fundraising. So maximizing your fundraising, I think Justine and I will talk a little bit more about how to maximize your fundraising, but it's really just the idea of, being efficient, and getting to your goal as quick as possible, so that you're not spending tons of time working. So it's, kind of working smart versus working hard. So having your hand in all these cookie jars really helps you get to your goal quick. So for example, let's take sponsorships and partnerships, online fundraising. So you're online fundraising, you've got your page set up, you're sending out your link, but at the same time, you're also working, on approaching businesses looking for sponsorships and partnerships. At the same time, you're also selling Rafiki. At the same time, you're also planning, a fundraising event. And at the same time, you're applying for Joe's Dream Bursary as a Me to We opportunity. So I always suggest that you're doing a few things at the same time so you can get to your goal quicker. Today, we're really going to focus on different fundraising events and initiatives. I do hold another Idea Slam webinar that focuses on sponsorships and partnerships, but today we're going to talk a little bit more about the different events and initiatives that you can use in your fundraising plans. But if you do have any questions about sponsorships and partnerships, feel free to reach out and ask, because I'm more than happy to walk you through that as well. But again, the focus today is on different events and initiatives that you can use in your fundraising plans. Before we talk about those events and initiatives, I just quickly want to brush over some Me to We internal opportunities that, I've always talked about these, and I talk about them in every Idea Slam or lots of emails or conversations that I have. But, we have a really amazing opportunity to apply for a scholarship or bursary that we call Joe's Dream Bursary. And we also have an amazing referral program. So to dive a little bit deeper into that, I just want to mention that the Joe's Dream Bursary is this is the time for applications for Joe's Dream. The deadline is actually March 1st, so we've got about a month and a half left to apply. So you can find the application for Joe's Dream, which is a bursary that was created in memory of a wonderful employee here at Free the Children. Participants can apply to Joe's Dream for a chance to win a bursary, about $100 or $500 towards their trip or Take Action Camp. You can just click on the link on your screen, or copy and paste into your browser. You can pull up the application for Joe's Dream, and you're going to want to go over that relatively soon so that you can get that application in before the deadline of March 1st. But again, this is an application to be awarded $500 to put towards your trip, which would be really, really helpful. And it's not something that is going to take a ton of time planning. So this is something that everybody should be doing, as well as planning these different events and initiatives. So this is something that you can be doing on the side. So I would recommend everybody taking a look at that application and sending that in as soon as they can if they're interested in applying. And also, Meetup has a great referral program that I'm sure everybody has heard about a lot. Bringing your friend or advocating, about these really amazing experiences, these trips is a really rewarding experience, not only for you but for a friend. So if you bring a friend to travel, not only is that going to be really cool because you get to travel with your BFF, but you also get a $100 gift card to put towards your trip, and they get a $50 gift card. So if you end up signing up a friend for a trip and they book, then that's a really great way to put an extra $100 towards your trip. So this is something that you can be doing that is going to put some money towards your fundraising goal, but isn't going to take you a ton of time. Just before we talk about the events and initiatives, I just wanted to mention quickly, I've been getting some questions about sponsorships and business partnerships. So this is a great place to start. Approaching your local Lions Club, Rotary Club, Optimist Club, to see if they are interested in sponsoring you and your volunteer experience is a great way to take your reference letter that you have, or a letter that you've written, and really kind of approach a business to see if they're interested in supporting your cause there. You can also offer a presentation like a Q&A session after you get back, or you can maybe wear a T-shirt and take pictures of their logo and post them online, or write personalized thank you cards with photos from your trip. So there's always different ways that you can approach these community associations and offer maybe a workshop in exchange for a donation. I think I've heard of a lot of fundraisers actually who have had that type of relationship with these community associations, where they come back and they do a workshop when they return from their trip. So this is a great place to start approaching businesses. And lastly, our online fundraising page. This is available for Canadian travelers only. Just wanted to mention that because of the conversion rate, we aren't able to take donations of different denominations. That's just a side note. But an online fundraising page is a really, really awesome resource and tool to help you really spread the word about your campaign online. So I'm working with lots of fundraisers this year who are really taking advantage of this online fundraising page, especially through social media. They're creating their page and then they're posting the link all over social media. They're tweeting it, Instagram, they've got a blog, and they're sending out this link to everybody that they know. So people can just click on the link and go directly to the page and donate with a credit card online. So this is a great way to extend your fundraising network, and you can maybe even send it out social media. You can print it on a little business card that you see on the bottom right hand corner of the page. You just print it out on a piece of paper, cut it out, and hand it out so people can donate when they have some time later down the road. But this is an online fundraising page is a great way to take online donations for people who may want to donate with a credit card. I also find the online fundraising pages are great. So say you're going to go shovel snow or babysit, and someone doesn't have cash to offer you as a donation. That's okay. Doesn't mean that they aren't able to donate. You can just give them the link to your page and they can donate online. while you're shoveling their snow for them, for example. I also have a few fundraisers who are using their online fundraising page to take donations and then, or to take orders for something that they're making. So for example, two fundraisers are making homemade soup. They're really, really awesome cooks, and they're putting their soup in a jar, like a little mason jar, and then they're taking payment for the soup on their online fundraising page and then delivering the soup to whoever ordered. So it's like a little mini business. I really thought it was a really neat way to kind of take money in exchange for a good when you don't have like a cash register, right? It's kind of like your own little cash register. So I really like using the online fundraising pages for really unique, in really unique ways. Okay, this is the part you've all been waiting for. The amazing Justine, and I promise I will make sure she speaks loud enough so everybody can hear. The amazing Justine is going to talk to you about her amazing fundraising, the way that she was able to raise $20,000. So this is probably what you're waiting to hear from. So I want to pass it on over to Justine, and she's going to share with you a little bit about her experience. Okay, so first of all, just let me know if you can't hear me. I'll try to speak louder. So one way that I was able to raise so much money and the goods that I sold the most of was actually MeToWe refugees. They're such a easy way to fundraise while raising awareness and connecting everybody else to MeToWe and Free the Children as well. So they're easy to get. You can order them online on the MeToWe website. I believe it's shop.metowe.com. They come in packs of 10, and they are $50 for 10 refugees. So when you buy them like that, that means that they're $5 each. So if you sell them for $10 each, you automatically make $50 off of each pack. Now, they're great for birthday gifts, selling them to your friends so that they can include them with their Valentines instead of a candygram. Or just friends and family members love to have them on hand for thank you gifts and anything else. Appreciation gifts for staff members, teachers. It's the perfect gift. It's small. You can send it in the mail if needed, in just a regular envelope I found. And it gives people choices too, as far as color and what cause they want to support through the 5 pillars of Free the Children. Hi, everybody. We're just going to check into why the volume is really low. I'm going to try and find a way to turn that sound up so everybody can hear loud and clear. I understand that it's a little bit quiet when we switch between Justine and I, so I just want to make sure that I'm ensuring that the volume is up as high as it possibly can go. So just bear with me for a second. Okay, so we're going to continue. Just keep letting us know if you're having a hard time hearing Justine or I. It seems like maybe when we switch between Justine and myself, we need to kind of pause for a second, make sure that the sound is picking up the differences in our tones. So we're going to continue. Hopefully everybody can hear at the moment. If you're having a hard time, let me know, and we'll try and address that. So thank you so much for your patience, and sorry for the technical difficulties. So with all that being said, I'm going to pass it back to Justine, and we're going to continue on with our exciting, wonderful webinar. Okay, so we're going to jump into Justine's amazing run for Kenya. So just quickly want to pause and just see if I can get some feedback. Is everybody able to hear me okay? Is the sound okay? How about Justine? You want to just, yeah. Is this better? Great. I think we're getting some feedback that I think we may have fixed the problem. So really appreciate your patience with all of this. And we're going to up where we left off here and hopefully sound continues going smoothly. Take it away, Justine. Okay, so one of the biggest events that I held when fundraising for the school in Kenya was actually a 5K run that I hosted. Now, there's many different themes or ways you could do this. I'm lucky enough to live in the Niagara area and live near a bunch of wineries, so I was able to tie that into it. But even just doing a simple running race or just a fun run is a good way to raise money. So my first advice for this would be to do some research and see if there's any local running groups or clubs in your area. So I was able to contact my local running club and talk to them about doing just a fun run to raise money for my cause. I wrote them a letter explaining Me to Leave, Free the Children, and what exactly I was raising the money for. So then I was able to work with them to come up with this event, making sure that I had all the aspects of the run covered correctly and to ensure that it was safe for the runners. And then they were able to actually chip in and donate running shirts for the event. So next thing I did was I contacted my local wineries, but I've heard of people even doing it at local bakeries or restaurants, stopping in and trying an appetizer on the way, on the route. So again, I contacted them just to let them know what I was doing. So this involves going in person, talking to the manager, but also leaving them a letter so that they could later on read what I was doing. And then I also sent a follow-up email, just explaining all the information, attaching possible dates, times, and what exactly I was looking for. And then it was time to advertise. So I went into the local running club actually a few nights a week and set up a table to let everybody know what I was doing. And I also took this opportunity to sell items while I was there. So I had raffikis and other items that we'll talk about later. And then I was fortunate enough to have a smart TV donated by a family member. And so I sold raffle tickets open to anyone who was at the club, not just those attending the run. So we charged $50 for each person, and that included kind of like an entry fee for the run, but with this, it included wine tasting, and we were also able to get donations to make like swag bags, which included just granola bars, water bottles. Some organizations that had sponsored me gave me pens just so that they could get some advertisement for their company. And we put in the T-shirt. I was able to put in a Rafiki in each bag, just so that everyone was able to get something for their accomplishment of finishing this run. And my family was able to help out. We made signs, and which I'm planning actually to use again. Hopefully I can hold another run. And it went actually pretty smoothly. It was a great evening, and I also at the event had a silent auction to bring in more donations, and made sure I took a moment to speak and share with everybody what exactly I was fundraising for. I find that really important at any event to stand up, first of all, thank everybody, but let them know exactly what you'll be doing on your trip and what inspired you to go on this trip, so that they can connect with where their money is going and how it will be helping. I really love that idea, Justine, the Run for Kenya. I think that's brilliant and it's really unique. How many people did you have participating? About that's really cool. You could also, I see a really great idea just in the chat window here. Someone's mentioning you could even turn this idea into kind of like a mock water walk, right? You could also have people, do a walkathon, but they have to do it with, a barrel of water, and they have to carry that. So I really think that that's a unique idea. It's really, you can really sell the whole Meet a Week, Free the Children theme with your walk or run-a-thon, and I think that would be really engaging. So I think that's a great idea. Thanks for the suggestion there. But yeah, so you could definitely turn this into, you could free the childrenify your Run for Kenya or Walk for Kenya and make it kind of like a water walk. So great. So I already mentioned the silent auction a little bit before, but this is something that I actually held at quite a few of my events. I found it's a really easy way to bring in extra donations at any event that you have. So for this, I found actually that approaching smaller companies and more local companies works better than the bigger organizations, because they already have things that they sponsor and donate towards, whereas the local organizations, they're looking to help their community and their community members. So I found they were more willing to give either a cash donation or a prize donation for a silent auction, which worked really well. And we even, like you can see in this picture, threw in some Rafikis and had prizes that were applicable to everybody. I had a popcorn bucket with a movie and candy at more of a family type event, or jelly beans and a stuffed animal for kids. So really just approaching organizations, small companies, and again, going in, speaking with the manager, but also leaving a letter so that they have documentation of your request, and so then they can look at it later and share it with workers and other managers who may be included in the decision of giving these prizes. And like in this picture, I find if you display them nicely, you usually draw more attention. So if you've been on a trip to Kenya, you may have a shuka that you can display them on, like in this picture. But if not, just make sure they're displayed so that you can see all of the prizes and that people are drawn to it. So you could have balloons or anything like that, and hopefully you can get lots of items to auction off. Yeah, so actually
some of these prizes that you see here are from, I guess, family, friends, people I know. So the hair straightener, for example, I asked my hairdresser if she'd be willing to give a prize. And the pillow you see in the back was from my chiropractor. It's an orthopedic pillow. And I approached my local florist for the flowers, and family friends who I knew owned small businesses who are looking to get advertisement out while helping on the cause. In the front there's some restaurant gift cards for local restaurants that I knew people coming to the event would enjoy. So a variety of items, and using connections that I had in the community to get items for these auctions. Look around you and figure out who, in your network you can reach out to for support. Your hairdresser, your chiropractor, your doctors. You never know who's going to be able to support you and how they're going to be able to support you. So I think that's really great advice. Is my favorite. So I'm really excited to hear calendars. He's actually got them here, so I was able to look at them. They're beautiful. I want to pass over to just multiple calendars together. Yeah, so like Amanda said, the same for me. This was my favorite fundraiser that I did. They're kind of like my baby. It was a big project for me, and I was super excited when I was finally able to start selling these calendars. So for me, something I'm really passionate about is photography. So when I was on my trip to Kenya, I was able to take a good camera and take pictures of all the amazing sights and everything I saw and experienced. And when I got home, I really wanted to share these pictures with everybody. And I knew I could post them on Facebook, but not everyone would see them, and they just kind of skip through them and not really appreciate the beauty of Kenya. And so I decided to make calendars featuring pictures that I took on my trip. So I was able to find actually a website called Vistaprint to get these made. And if anybody is thinking of something like this, they're actually having their semi-annual sale right now, which is when I got mine printed, and I got them for about 60% off, which came to about getting each calendar for $4, and I was able to sell them for $15 each. So you can really make a profit off of these, and they're great. Everybody uses a calendar. Everybody needs a calendar with how hectic life is. And I also made sure that on the last page, so December, I included the picture of Sharon and I from Kenya and just a small blurb about where the money was going and why I started my campaign to build a school in Kenya. So it's a really neat, fun idea. You can have fun choosing which pictures. I included quotes with some of them or a description. And they're awesome for, again, birthday presents, Valentine's Day, thank you presents. I know for me, my grandparents absolutely love them and show them to all their friends, so then they want to buy them. And again, with them hanging in an office or someone's home, people see them and then ask where they got them. And it just grows and grows. And you have lots of people contacting you to purchase a calendar. Right? I think that's a very, very brilliant idea. And this being January, it's, the new year, it's the perfect time to sell calendars. People are all looking for calendars because it's the beginning of 2016, so the perfect time to get those calendars out there.
Okay, so here it's Amanda again. I'm going to give Justine a little bit of a break because she's given some phenomenal ideas. Justine is a great person to connect with. She's on our Facebook fundraising group. So she's also offered, if you ever want to connect with her on Facebook, feel free to, reach out and she can explain to you a little bit more about, some of the events that she's talked about today, as well as, different events that she might be able to give some advice on as well. So Justine is great, and she's more than happy to help connect with you on Facebook or email. So, reach out and add her to Facebook. So that's great. I do want to talk about a few more exciting ideas that have been working really well for fundraisers this year. And I, want to, briefly just mention that these are all ideas that you can always, adapt or change around to fit you. So, for example, this handmade jewelry idea here. This is an idea that one of our fundraisers is working, she's working with her mom, and her mom is actually, she makes jewelry on the side as well. So she's got access to these really amazing beads, and she's making these bracelets for trip to Kenya this summer. She's actually even set up a website online to take orders for her bracelets. So, you may have access to some funky beads or some neat beads or something, but maybe you have access to something else. Maybe, you have access to another piece of art that you can, maybe somebody owns a store that has the little earring clamps, and you can have a bunch of those donated or something. It depends on what you have available to you. But this particular fundraiser, her mom had access to these really awesome beads, so she made jewelry out of them, set up a website, and has already successfully fully fundraised for her trip to Kenya this summer. These are really great they're really great for her around the holidays. So you can use your homemade jewelry around Valentine's Day or Mother's Day as well. But these are really neat because you can personalize them and customize them. You can put a lovely little tag on them, like this one here. This is, the Kenya Mission Trip 2016. You can put the link to your online fundraising page on that little card so people can log in and donate extra if they wanted to. Okay. I'm also working with a fundraiser this year, and maybe you have seen her post on Facebook. She's got a great blog. She's fundraising with a Tshirt Campaign. Now, a Tshirt Campaign is really, really cool. I've worked with fundraisers in the past who've been really successful selling T-shirts. As you can see here, this particular fundraiser has taken it to the next level by actually taking photos of her T-shirts with different outfit selections. So, like, not only is this really cool because this is a personally home designed T-shirt for Born to Do More Than Pay Bills and that. That's something that she made up and designed herself, and now she's kind of putting together these really stylish ways to wear her fundraising T-shirt. So she was had a really great opportunity to work with a friend of the family who was able to silk screen her T-shirt. So the friend of the family was able to donate some of his time and some of the cost of actually having the T-shirts printed. But that being said, there are other great ways to get your T-shirts made. If you don't know somebody who has a silk screener, there are different organizations or stores or businesses. We're in Toronto, and there's a bunch of these stores that do silk screening in this area here. So I'm sure in your down your main street in Calgary or Halifax, there'll be stores and shops that do silk screening where you just have to buy maybe buy the T-shirts from Value Village or Goodwill or something, and then you can just have them silk screened and then sell them afterwards. Or there is a great company out there called Fund the Nation. It's just like it sounds, F-U-N-D, Fund the Nation. If you just throw that into Google, you'll be able to pull up the website. They're really neat. They help you design, and then they will help you make an order for a bunch of T-shirts, and then you can sell them for a profit. So this is something that maybe you are able to purchase a bunch of t-shirts up front and then sell them for profit, that's a really great way to make some fundraising dollars. I just want to mention that it will require you to have have already raised some money that you can get your t-shirts kind of all in order and then sell them. So you'd be making a profit, but you're going to have to come up with a little bit of money to start a fundraising initiative like this. So I just want to mention that that's something that you have to keep in mind in order to set up a t-shirt campaign like this. So maybe this is something that you do as one of your last fundraisers, just to to reach your fundraising goal. Maybe this isn't your first fundraiser. Maybe you do something else that's like a book sale or a used clothing sale before you do your t-shirt campaign. Keep that in mind so that you're not surprised when you aren't able to do this as your first fundraiser because you don't have the money to buy the t-shirts or get them made. Infinity scarves. How cool are these? Are these little headbands on the right here? I just learned how to knit about a month or so ago, and it's not, it's a slow process to learn, but I really did a lot of practicing over the holidays. So I'm making these little slipper booties, and it's about the point where I can make a pair of booties in about 4 hours or so, and that's if I'm really knitting hard. So if you learn how to knit, and if I learned, you can learn. I learned just off of YouTube, so you can knit, crochet, you can even hand knit or finger knit infinity scarves or headbands. We had a participant last year who actually made $2,000 in 2 months selling her infinity scarves. And that was a really quick way to make some money. So if you're a crafty knitter and something that you're able to do, get on it. Get crocheting, get finger knitting, and fundraise and sell those on social media. You can sell them at craft sales, at church. You can sell them at hockey tournaments and in the arena, anywhere. But these are very hip right now, infinity scarves and those headbands, and perfect time of year. It's freezing out there, so you're definitely going to need some scarves and hats, so take advantage of that. While we're on the crafty train here, I just want to mention a couple of really neat crafty ideas that I've seen recently. I'm so in love with this tea wreath idea. I saw this at a craft sale a few weeks ago. It was around the holidays, but this is definitely not like a Christmas wreath. This is something that could be, I see this picture here, it's got flowers painted on the clothes tag. So this is just, you get a circular piece of cardboard and you attach the tea by using clothes pegs, and you can paint the clothes pegs if you want. You can use more tea, you can use less tea, any kind of tea that you want. But how cool is that? Like, it's something that I would put up on my wall, but I would also drink the tea. So I really love this idea, and I've seen it in a couple of craft sales recently. So I think that this could be a really neat new thing, and I think you'll start seeing these around a lot, especially in the spring at farmers markets. So take advantage of this and start, putting together old tea bags, not old tea bags, that's the wrong word. Leftover teas. If you have a box of tea and you've got just 1 or 2 left over, maybe you save those for your tea wreath, and you start kind of collecting the tea packets that you want to use. Also, I really enjoy making pillows. I collect little throw pillows, and I like throw pillows with little designs on them. There's a store down the street from my place that has these little pillows that goes on little animals on them. And I'm going to be honest here, I do pay a fortune for these pillows. They're about $40 each, and they're just handmade little pillows. I just love them. So why not? I just figured, why not take advantage of crazy people like me who will spend $40 on a little throw pillow. And I just found these little red pillows that are probably quite easy if you're just able to find a piece of knitted fabric and some buttons. You just sew it in a big square, sew 2 pieces together in a square, stuff it with the fluff that you would get at the store, the filling that you would get at just the craft store. It's very inexpensive. You can sell these pillows for whatever you're comfortable with, but they're probably very inexpensive to make. But you can sell them for up to $40. So think about how much profit you can make on that. And then lastly, I have this, really neat picture of these multifaceted mason jars, because who doesn't love mason jars and all of the fun things that you can do with them. I personally have about 5 of them around my desk. I drink water from mason jars, I drink juice, I put my pens in them, but you could, really make a neat little set of mason jars for people to put their kitchen supplies in and sell those at like a farmer's market or a craft sale or something like that. People can pick and choose, the different things that they might, maybe they want serving and whisks, or, you could label them however you want, or you could paint a little word label on them and people could change the labels to whatever suits them. So these are just some crafty ideas that I've seen recently that I think could be relatively easy to do and inexpensive, and also, help you make a larger profit. Now, a bottle drive. This is, something that I always recommend. This is I feel like the back pocket or go-to fundraising idea. Wouldn't you say, Justine? Bottles, you want them for your upcoming trip to India. So now people know that I'm constantly collecting them for my trip, and they save them for me. I actually worked with a fundraiser earlier this year who was able to fundraise her entire trip deposit in, I think it was 2 weekends. She did 2 or 3, 2 bottle drives, 2 or 3 bottle drives. I don't remember exactly how many, but very, very organized bottle drives. So printing out flyers and then distributing them on maybe Thursday. Let's just say Thursday. You drive around, or you go door to door. You put the flyers for your bottle drive, maybe in the crack of people's door or in their mailbox, or just under their doormat, or wherever. If maybe they have one of those little mailboxes by their front door, you can drop your flyer that says, hey everybody, hey neighbors, my name is Amanda, and I'm having a bottle drive for my trip to Kenya. Here's a picture of me. Maybe you put a picture of yourself, and this trip. Maybe something about why you want to take this trip. This trip means the world to me because I'm very passionate about. I'm very passionate about making a difference and breaking barriers for gender equality. Maybe that's your thing. So you have your flyer. You deliver your flyer on Thursday. On the flyer, it says, "Please leave your bottles by the end of the driveway on Sunday." And then Sunday, you drive around and you collect all those bottles that people so lovingly left at the bottom of their driveway. You put them in the car, or maybe you have a parent driving you around, or a friend. You put those in the car, and then you can either collect them or bring them to the bottle depository that day. So you can bring them to, the recycling depository. Each, community or province has a different place for you to drop your bottles off at. If you have a few, you can drop them off at the beer store with adults, so that you can make some money that way. But bottle depository or recycling facilities will take not only your bottles, but your cans. It'll take cardboard. It'll take a whole bunch of stuff. So not the most glamorous job in the world, collecting empty bottles, but it's something that fundraisers have found really effective because it costs $0. It's free. It doesn't cost you any money. You're not going to have to buy anything to bake, set up a bake sale. You don't have to buy T-shirts or receipts. You're going around and collecting bottles, and you're making free money from that. So it's something that you might want to be doing on the side, and maybe you do one every weekend in a different neighborhood. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. If you're anywhere, well, I guess we don't have a ton of snow, but we do have snow now. If you're anywhere, in northern Ontario, who else has snow? Nova Scotia, I think Saskatchewan's got a lot of snow. Look outside and take advantage of all that white stuff you see on the ground. Maybe you live in a neighborhood or a community with lots of senior citizens. They obviously can't shovel their snow themselves, so they would be very, very happy to, provide you a donation, in exchange to help them with their snow. So why not go around with maybe a team? Maybe you've got a couple people, and you can go around offering to shovel snow. You knock on a door. Maybe they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any money right now." no problem. Would you be interested in going online and, making a donation that way while I'm out here shoveling your snow? Perfect. This is a great time for you to have, the link to your online fundraising page printed on like a business card, so people who don't have cash can still pay online while you work. So this is, very self-explanatory little business operation. You shovel snow, you get donations. Sharing your experience is a great way to kind of connect your fundraising to things that you're passionate about or you're really good at. So taking something that you have experience in or you're better at than other people, like French or piano, both of which I'm not very good at. So you could offer, French tutoring or piano lessons. Something that I did when I fundraised, because I play hockey, I did power skating. So I connected with the local hockey chapter, and I offered my power skating classes. And it was actually different teams would invite me to come and do power skating sessions, so an hour, and they would pay me for that. So it was kind of how I used my talent or my experience to make some money. Maybe you're doing math, which is something I'm also not very good at, tutoring or something like that. So find what you're really good at, singing, dancing, and use that as a fundraiser. I'm just thinking, Justine, something that she did, she is like the coolest. She is a horseback rider, so she was able to do horseback riding lessons at her stable. So it could be anything that you're good at, anything that you love. Use that as a fundraiser. Now, easy peasy, beverage stand. Who hasn't heard of a lemonade stand or a hot chocolate stand? This is a great way for you to set up a little table that has maybe some posters or talks a little bit about what you're fundraising for. You can also sell rafiki's as well as your hot chocolate. I would always recommend, maybe if you're setting up your stand, away from a kitchen, to maybe go to Tim Hortons or Starbucks or a coffee shop and ask them if they're able to donate some of those coffee travelers, like those little cardboard travelers that you could fill up with hot chocolate and it will keep it hot. So maybe you set up your stand somewhere and you have hot chocolate. It's really great to have a hot beverage. So one of those travelers would be a great way to keep it hot. You also have, maybe treats or snacks or something, and, have fancy sweets or something. Maybe your lemonade stand has a theme. Maybe it's like a pink lemonade stand or something like that. Maybe your apple cider is hot or cold. Maybe it's, very full harvest. All kinds of different options with, a beverage stand. And it's also not going to cost a whole ton of money to set up. And speaking of something that's not going to cost a whole lot of money, probably one of the most cheap and cheerful snacks in the world is popcorn. So, why not have a popcorn stand at your school production of Grease or something like that, or your free throw competition or your basketball game. You could set up a table where you're selling popcorn. Maybe you get those little paper bags from the dollar store. Maybe you put a sticker, decorate them, put the link to your online fundraising page on the bag, and just fill it with popcorn and sell those. And heads up, everybody, we have some really exciting news.
Did you know that today is actually National Popcorn Day? So why not take today to start thinking about ideas for your popcorn stand?
I love that. I totally did not know when Justine told me that today is National Popcorn Day. I didn't realize that they have a national day for everything. So popcorn, National Candy Corn Day. It's all kinds of fun. So if this is a sign, have a popcorn stand. I'm a big fan of yoga. So something that I spend a lot of money on is my yoga classes. So I was thinking, why not take advantage of people who spend a lot of money on yoga and have your own yoga class? Like I think some studios I will pay, $30, $40 for an hour-long yoga class, and it depends on, the different, if it's hot yoga or a different type of yoga, but you can definitely, use this towards your advantage if you have space that you can have a fitness class at, maybe it's your gym at school, maybe you know somebody who has a studio who can lend you the space. Maybe it's a community center, who knows, it could be your condo exercise room or something like that. But have a yoga or fitness class and you charge at the door, you can sell tickets, also have graffiti, have a silent auction at your yoga class. Maybe you invite somebody to do a dance or something like that. You can even have the yoga instructor be a professional yoga instructor donating their time, or you could lead the class yourself. Maybe you have a friend or somebody, friend of a family or somebody that is like a budding yoga instructor. There's lots of different ways that you can pull off a yoga or fitness class. Actually worked with some fundraisers last year who raised $2,500 at a Zumba class. Never been to Zumba, but I think it's it's a ton of fun. You could do yoga, you could do Zumba, you could do any kind of fitness session or fitness class, Pilates or anything. People would be really into that, and it could work really well if you've got a great instructor. Now, this is something that is very hip and all the rage right now. Coffee house, I see them pop up everywhere. We live downtown Toronto, so there's, walking down the street, there's a coffee house at on every corner. Cool. I love them. It's really great to showcase local talent, independent artists, people who, really trying to develop their craft. So holding a coffee house would be great. Taking advantage of the fact that everybody loves coffee houses. You could have your open mic night at a community center. Maybe somebody who has a restaurant or a coffee shop or cafe that you could rent, or maybe they could donate the space to you. And then you reach out to your local musicians or artists and see if they, are interested in playing. Maybe it's somebody doing spoken word. Maybe it's poetry. Maybe it's, guitar, banjo, ukulele, singing. It could be anything. So you could have these people showcase their talents on stage. You could also, make it a really, neat affair and have graffiti, baked goods. You could have maybe dress up, black tie. I don't know, who knows. Coffee houses tend to be more like hipster and really cool, and cool people go to coffee houses. So you could make a theme to your coffee house. You could make it be the change. You could have some pictures up of some of your travels, or pictures of where you're headed, or something like that. You can make a theme to your coffee house. All kinds of options here. But the place to start is to thinking of where you would be holding this, so venue. So finding out connect to your principal at school. See if you can have that in the gym, or connect to somebody in your network who has a cafe, and really see if you can they can donate that space to you. I just quickly really want to start. I know we're going to dive into a lot more Valentine's Day fundraisers next Idea Slam, because it's, this is the season. But I just really wanted to introduce a few Valentine's Day fundraisers that will get you started, get you really excited about using Valentine's Day as a really exciting time of year to fundraise. People are feeling so loving and lovely. Why not, take advantage of that and hold a fundraiser? The Valentine's Day flowers are so lovely. People, it's very festive, and it's the image, or it's the symbol of the Valentine's Day season. The red rose. You could order your flowers maybe in bulk from a florist, and then you can sell them individually at school for Valentine's Day, or you can sell them, wherever, maybe at, hockey arena if they're having a tournament that weekend. You can sell your flowers individually that way. Maybe if you let your florist know ahead of time that you're fundraising, they can give you a discount on the flowers, or maybe even donate the flowers completely. And that's something that Justine did. She approached her local florist, and they were able to, donate flowers for her raffle or her silent auction, but you can use these to sell. So this is a great way to, make an extra profit, especially if the flowers are donated. Also, I have a guilty pleasure, and that is romantic comedies. and reality TV, but romantic comedies especially. I'm a big fan of 10 Things I Hate About You and He's Just Not That Into You. Those are my two favorites. So why not host a romantic comedy movie marathon and show all of them, or maybe just more like 4 or 5. You know, you could just have maybe it's 12 hours, maybe it's 6 hours, depending on how many movies you want to show. But have a marathon, invite your friends, your family, you know, all kinds of people to this event. Maybe you charge at the door, maybe you sell tickets, or maybe the tickets include you know, 3 little meals or 3 snacks or you know, something. Maybe you have it at your home, maybe you have it at the gym or community center, but you know, think about what you're going to sell your tickets for and what you're going to include with that. So you might want to have like peanut butter and jam sandwiches and popcorn or something like that. Maybe it's you do a spaghetti dinner romantic rom-com movie marathon, but it depends if you have access to a kitchen. So make this work for you. Find a space, and then, you know, find out how you can, you know, best take advantage of that space. Who doesn't love Legally Blonde? Handmade Valentine's card collection. Now, this is something that I thought would be a really neat idea, and this is something that if you're going to take advantage of Valentine's Day and Valentine's cards, this is something you're going to want to start thinking about or getting prepared right away, because people will want to buy their Valentine's Day cards around the first week of February so that they can start filling them in and then handing them out on the 14th. So you can get crafty and make some Valentine's Day card collections and then sell them, you know, in like packages of 10 to raise money for your trip. And it's, you know, very, very lovely. Justine has sold greeting cards to fundraise for her trip. She sold Christmas greeting cards, so this didn't, you know, you can use any holiday that people will buy greeting cards, or, you know, I'm just thinking thank you greeting cards. You can do, you know, happy birthday cards. You could do any kinds of cards. People need cards, so why not provide them for them? So again, for Valentine's Day, you're going to want to get these prepared have these ready to sell in the first week of February, so people will have them in time for Valentine's Day. Candygrams. Who hasn't heard of candygrams? Who hasn't heard of or seen candygrams in action? You can do these at any holiday really, but you can make little packages of assorted candy. Maybe you put them in little baggies, maybe they're little boxes, maybe, who knows, depending on what your creative mind comes up with. You can sell and take orders for these candygrams at school, maybe during lunch hour, and then, you know, put a little space for the sender to include little positive message for the recipient, and then you can hand deliver them. You know, maybe take some time out of third period and hand deliver them on Valentine's Day or something like that. So candygrams are great. You may have seen these done around the holidays with candy canes, but you can do them with any type of candy. And Valentine's Day, I think, is a great time to take advantage of candygrams. Okay, so I know we just went over a ton of different ideas, and again, sorry if there was a problem, you know, switching from Justine and I. We do apologize. Hopefully we're able to at least get the idea down, and if you have any questions about that, you can definitely feel free to follow up with us. But we're going to stop talking now, and we're going to open up the floor, see if there's anybody out there who, you know, might be interested in, you know, sharing an idea that has worked really well for them. You can pop the idea into the chat box, or it's really great if you would like to share with the group. You know, if you want to speak and share with the group, I can actually unmute you, and you can speak. So if you do want to share, just let me know in the chat box and tell me that you do want to share, and I'll just go ahead and take turns unmuting you so that you can speak to the group. If you're not comfortable speaking to the group, no problem. I completely understand. You can write it in the chat and I will share it on your behalf. So I've already seen some really, really amazing ideas coming in for spaghetti suppers, which is something that we've seen work really well, especially if you've got maybe a fundraising team to help you out. And you have access to a great space that you can like prepare the spaghetti. So spaghetti suppers are great because spaghetti is cheap and cheerful. It doesn't cost a ton of money, and you can sell tickets for a spaghetti dinner and actually make a good profit. So that's something that I really, really enjoy that idea. Also, if you have a school that's going to help out or support you with your fundraising, taking advantage of the school like a school buyout or something like that. So maybe selling tickets for students to buy out of fourth period to watch a movie, do a screening, or have a pep rally or something like that. Buyout days are really cool to take advantage of at school. This would be something that you would have to connect with your school principal to sort out, but this is definitely something that would work really well for you. Okay, is anybody else interested in sharing some really neat ideas, things that they've seen work well for you, things that you would like to try, or things that you might want to know a little bit more about? I really I love the idea of that, the idea that we talked about before with expanding on Justine's water walk, expanding on Justine's Kenya run to make it kind of a water walk. I really like that idea. That's something that I think, if you're able to, set up, I really like that idea a lot. It really ties in really nicely with your trip this summer. Great, we see some more really amazing ideas coming in. So some more ideas, having themed dinner nights. Dinners I've heard work really well. Sport day dinners, themed types of dinners are really great. I always just mention with a dinner, you do have to be prepared with a proper area to prepare the food, and make sure that you have a nice clean space. So that's the only thing that I like to make sure people are aware of before they start doing dinner or working with food. But it definitely works well if you have access to a space with a kitchen. And with I've seen some fundraisers do like pancake breakfast, and that's something that if you do have access to, maybe your high school and your CAF is really great and they want to donate an hour of their morning to let you make pancakes and do pancake breakfast. That would be a really great idea. I've seen that work really well for some fundraisers as well. And Justine she's seen or done some pancakes. You want to tell a little bit about this pancake step? Yeah, so like I said again, I'm really fortunate to live in the Niagara area where I have access to resources like this. But actually, my local maple sugar bush, in the wintertime, they have pancake breakfast every weekend. And so they were actually able to donate a percentage of the proceeds that they made one day towards my fundraising. And I just came out, I interacted with the guests, let them know what the money was going towards, and set up a small table and sold Rafiki's as well at the event. Great, I love that. I'm working with a fundraiser this year who's connected with her local Applebee's. And I don't know if we have one in Toronto, but she's connected with her local Applebee's, and they are actually holding we call it flapjack instead of pancakes, but it's like a flapjack night. And so she's going to sell tickets. They've actually provided her with the tickets, which is really amazing. Same with like a Boston Pizza booster night. So Boston Pizza, you can partner with them for like a pizza party, like a pancake breakfast, and they will provide you with the tickets, and you can sell those, and then they will throw the event for you. It's a really great way. So connecting with your local Applebee's or Boston Pizza. I mean, each of these restaurants, each franchise has their own kind of different fundraising options. So booster nights and stuff like that. I think Boston Pizza, in fact, is actually working on introducing pancakes as a fundraiser. So connect with your local Boston Pizza. Maybe give them a call, find out who the manager is, and maybe see if you can set up a time where you go in and discuss some options. Maybe you bring with you your fundraising reference letter or something like that. Connecting with like a Boston Pizza or Applebee's, doing like a pancake breakfast or a booster night is another great great idea that I've seen work really well. They're all really, really great ideas. So I'm sharing the ideas with the group because the chat function is a private chat. So if the attendees of the webinar are actually chatting to myself, the other participants of the webinar aren't able to see. That's why I'm sharing the ideas with everybody. I know I had a question here about from a fundraiser attending tonight who wasn't able to see everybody's chat, but that's why I'm reading it because the chat is actually a private chat, so they're typing to me rather than typing to everybody. We've got a couple other great ideas here. We've got pizza days. I love pizza days. Who doesn't love pizza? Justine and I actually just had pizza for dinner tonight. So, connecting with your principal, maybe organizing a couple pizza days, and then ordering the pizza, which is going to cost a lot less than what you're charging each individual. And seeing if you can use that to fundraise for your trip. Really depends on your principal and what kind of programs they already have in place. So looking into seeing if you can have a pizza day. Same with having an event like a dance. I really think like a dance, or maybe taking a group to having a bowling tournament or something like that. You can their possibilities are endless. We've got a lot of great fundraising ideas from some fundraisers that don't have a lot of options because they're in a small town. So selling pies, or doing sports events or dances. These things all work really well for smaller towns because they're all a lot more connected. I actually find that sometimes living in a big city like Toronto, people see a lot of different fundraisers. They see a lot of different ways that they can donate. So living in a small town or a small community oftentimes helps people, really connect to the cause because they, may, know where you're coming from. Yeah, so really taking advantage of these are all great ideas, everybody. So thank you so much for pouring them out. This is so great. It makes me really excited to know that this has started, getting those creative juices flowing, and everybody's got some great ideas and really ready to hit the ground running. Taking advantage of Valentine's Day and having candy stands and selling candy grams. I really love all of these ideas. I think you're all on a great track here. I'm so glad we were able to kind of share these with each other and together because we're all one big fundraising family. So that's why joining our fundraising Facebook group is really great. So you can connect with, people like Justine who, had fundraising experience, or, you can connect with myself and really kind of hear, different ways that people are being successful. So I'm really glad that we were able to share some great ideas, and thanks for everybody who put into the chat window and shared these great ideas. I'm really glad we were able to kind of pass those forward. You're fundraising with a lot of great fellow fundraisers who have great ideas, so it's great that we're kind of all sharing together. Okay, so I do want to just outline some next steps here. And hopefully this webinar was helpful and you got some ideas that you're able to implement yourself. But if you do need some more ideas, or if you want to bounce any ideas off of myself or Justine, let me know. Contact me. We can schedule calls, connect with me on Facebook, send me an email, and definitely join the Facebook fundraising group. If you've taken anything from today, even if some of the ideas we talked about aren't going to work for you, definitely take from today that you're in a big family of fundraisers, and we all really connect together, and we help each other, and we want to share these ideas. People who fundraise, if they have a great idea, it's not like they want to keep it for themselves. They definitely want to share. They want to celebrate. They want other people to, find success just like they did. So joining the Facebook fundraising group is a really great idea. The Facebook fundraising group is Fundraising for My Me to We Experience. If you have a hard time finding it, just add myself or Justine, Amanda, Me to We Fundraising, and that's in all of my emails. If you want to just add me to Facebook, and I can add you to the group if you'd like. So without much further ado, I'm going to say my goodbyes, and Justine as well. Yeah. Like Amanda said, feel free to message me on Facebook. I'd love to help share ideas and any questions that you may have for me. Feel free to send them my way, and just remember that it's 100% fully possible to fundraise for your trip, and I hope everybody enjoys their trip that they're going on this summer. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it here on this questions page. I'm going to stop talking your ears off, and I'm going to go through and answer all of the questions in the chat and the Q&A. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to pop those into the chat or the Q&A, or send them to me by email, and I'm happy to help any way that I can. So again, thank you so much for coming this Tuesday evening and spending for an hour with Justine and I. We know we talked lots, and we're really excited about fundraising, and really excited to work with you and help you reach your goals. So thanks again, and sorry, for the technical difficulties with the sound that we experienced throughout. Hopefully you were still able to get the gist of what we were saying. If you do have any questions or you weren't able to hear any parts of the webinar, let us know by email and we can fill in any gaps for you. So again, thank you, 100% thank you so much for coming, and I'm going to stop chatting and answer all the questions in the chat and Q&A section. Have a wonderful evening and happy fundraising, everybody. Bye-bye.